Ever since the very first mention of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, the entire community has been captivated with one of our favorite and most popular villains being reworked into a character that would possibly be incorporated into later Dragon Ball arcs in the main timeline. Originally a bloodthirsty manic Saiyan with nowhere to direct his anger, Broly and his father Paragus, upon being exiled from planet Vegeta, roamed the universe by themselves until the day finally came where they could exact their revenge on Prince Vegeta. However, Broly was much more concerned with destroying Goku. Needless to say, Broly's battle with the Z-Fighters in the original movie ended in quite the way you'd expect, with the presumed death of Broly. However, Dragon Ball Super's adaptation was a bit more cinematic in presentation. Shortly after the Tournament of Power, both Goku and Vegeta found themselves once more in the path of Frieza, who, after stumbling upon two very interesting Saiyans sharing similar hatred as him, headed towards Earth. Broly and his father Paragus' introduction into canon Dragon Ball Super was everything we hoped it would be, where the legendary Saiyan first locked eyes with Goku and Vegeta, neither of who would ever back down from a fight. However, even the power of both of them in their Super Saiyan Blue forms wasn't enough to stop Broly's rampage after being enraged by his father's death. Already an exceptionally strong and fast learner, not to mention having never sparred with another person before, once awakening his Super Saiyan powers, Broly forced Goku and Vegeta to retreat momentarily, giving them a chance to perform the fusion technique. In one of the most epic fights in Dragon Ball history, Gogeta decisively defeated Broly, but not before Chile was able to use the Dragon Balls in order to send the three of them back to planet Vampa, and this is precisely where our story begins today. Broly, while he was momentarily working with Frieza, wouldn't necessarily be considered evil. In fact, Goku went on to try and befriend them afterwards, showing up on planet Vampa with supplies for them, while also issuing a future challenge to Broly. Goku may not have been strong enough before, but the potential of Ultra Instinct still resides within him, and today, Goku will finally have his one-on-one rematch with the peak of Saiyan potential. This is an original fan manga called Dragon Ball Super After Broly, taking place very shortly after the events of the previous movie. On planet Vampa, Broly, Chile, and Limo seem to all be living pretty peacefully as we see Broly relaxing under the view of the clouds. As his friends approach, Chile makes the comment that he shouldn't just sleep around all day. However, Broly, looking extra exhausted, starts to drift back off anyway. He's probably just tired from all the training he's been doing since the incident on Earth, Limo says, recalling back to the historic battle with Gogeta. Chile comments that honestly it doesn't even seem like Broly liked fighting all that much, even though he is a Saiyan. All of a sudden, a tremendous power is felt rapidly heading towards their planet and in an instant arrives just before them, bringing Broly directly out of his sleep. Yo, long time no see, Broly, a joyful Goku says, having paid his new friends the visit he promised. However, Broly hasn't been the only one putting themselves through rigorous methods of training. If you guys want to check out Dragon Ball Super After Broly, the link to the original fan manga will be down below in the description box, so be sure to go check it out. Don't forget to have that notification bell turned on to never miss a future upload, and if you've been enjoying all of the Dragon Ball content post Super, consider leaving a like on this video as well. Also, don't forget to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball related content, guys. But without further ado, Son Goku, Broly mutters, still barely able to speak properly. However, he could never forget his new friend Goku. Wow, you remember my name, Goku says, now walking over to them. You don't have to be so formal though, just Goku is fine. Or, he goes on, since you're also a Saiyan, you can always just call me Kakarot. Kakarot, Broly replies. Then I'll call you Kakarot. I wonder if that's somehow easier for Saiyans to pronounce. You gave us a bunch of supplies the last time you came here. We really appreciate it, Kakarot, Limo steps in to say. I wanted to thank you. Well, Bulma actually gave me all of that stuff, Goku replies, so if you want to thank anyone, you should thank her. Oh, and her husband Vegeta. But at the very mention of Vegeta's name, Broly's anger begins surging once more as he takes on that suppressed Uzaru form with his power overflowing, but he's barely keeping it in check. What's wrong, Broly? Goku asks, now showing a much more serious face. Are you still remembering what your father said to you? I know you've held a grudge, Broly, but Vegeta was the son of the king, and he was the same age as you. Vegeta didn't do anything to you himself. Can't you forgive him? Broly begins to calm down finally as he understands the words Goku speaks to him, apologizing for letting his anger get the best of him. Your power is monstrous, Broly, but your heart is beautiful, Goku tells him. Anyway, he goes on, that's not why I came here though. Will you fight me again, Broly? You just wanna fight? Broly asks, showing a slight smile on his face, sort of contradictory to what Chile just said. Of course, Goku replies, I wanted to fight you again and I've been training since the last time. Take a look at this, as his power begins to rise. Goku powers up, taking on his Ultra Instinct sign form, showing the fruits of his training, finally gaining control over such an eluded power. Having never seen this form from him before, Broly doesn't seem to notice any type of difference in Goku, whose Ultra Instinct form doesn't show any glaring changes other than looking slightly more youthful, I guess, but Broly isn't able to detect his power in this state either. Hey, whoa, wait a minute, Chile cuts in. This is a tough planet, but if you two get wild, you'll wreck it in a second. If you're going to fight, at least go out into the wilderness where there are no animals. After the last battle, you can't really blame her for not wanting the entire planet destroyed by these two just sparring, so Goku agrees as he tells Broly to come with him and the two fly off to a more deserted area more suitable for their match. When they arrive at their destination, the fight of a lifetime is moments from being underway, as Goku tells Broly, this transformation is much stronger than one I used in our fight, but even now, it's still in its unfinished state. I don't feel any power, but I know it's strong, Broly replies. You bet, says Goku, but hey, are you gonna become that green-haired Super Saiyan again? Wanting Broly to be at his best for their battle as well. I've been doing some training since then. It's not perfect yet, but I do have some control over it, Broly replies, demonstrating pretty impressive speech now as well, so it's probably fair to say that that's been a point for him to work on too. Yo, that's pretty exciting, Goku says. I've actually met a Saiyan like you before too, but I didn't have a clue what it was at that time. Well, we can talk more later, he goes on. Now let's get started. Alright, Broly says, and he begins raising his power as well. Broly takes on his wrathful Super Saiyan form as he did on planet Earth prior against Gogeta, but this time he looks much more composed as we see him even regaining his pupils, which would usually disappear in such a form, showing beyond impressive control over his rage now. Wow, Goku says. Well, I'm sure you're not in the mood for questions, so I'll just say, Broly, you are awesome, as the battle sets to begin with both fighters at the maximum potential now. Ultra Instinct Goku versus Super Saiyan Broly. A battle with the potential to reach iconic levels of hype begins with Broly making the first move, charging at Goku with full force. Goku, however, swiftly and calmly maneuvers around his opponent's attacks as Broly's punch goes straight over him. Broly then goes for a kick, creating distance between the two again and resetting the fight, but Goku dodges this as well, flipping out of the way. This time he makes the first move, rushing at Broly, who prepares a ki blast in his hand. He fires a massive energy beam at Goku that would surely devastate any other opponent. However, Goku's elevated state of mind almost seems to make everything else move in slow motion, and Broly notices his advanced movements as well. Goku, similarly to what he did to Kefla, pretty much just dances over the beam, and within the blink of an eye, he disappears only to reappear then behind Broly. So fast, Broly thinks to himself, as Goku delivers the first clean hit of the fight, sending Broly flying. As Broly is sent soaring backwards, he comes to a resounding halt. However, something seems different this time. His power hasn't begun to falter at all. What's the matter, Broly? Goku asks. This isn't the limit of your abilities, is it? Kakarot, Broly replies. You're a lot stronger than that day. I don't know what to say, but... And as he stands back to his feet, his aura becomes increasingly aggressive. This is fun, he says, but Broly has this look in his eyes now that I don't think we've ever seen before. He really is enjoying himself in this battle. Whoa, his power just skyrocketed, Goku says, now a bit more on his guard. Broly, now powered up even more than he was before, charges Goku again, who doesn't seem too worried, even with the strength increase, dodging Broly's punch again. This time, however, even though Broly's attack appears to have missed, a cut presents itself on Goku's cheek as Broly continues his onslaught, not giving Goku a minute to breathe. Goku is forced to block the next attack as Broly delivers a devastating elbow. Good job, Broly, Goku says. Now I'm excited. Broly relentlessly keeps attacking Goku though, throwing punch after punch, but with his training, Broly has since learned to coordinate his moves much better as he makes every attempt count. Goku barely dodges another punch, however before he can get his balance, Broly connects a kick that sends him flying. With each passing moment, It seems almost as if Broly is getting stronger and not weaker from expelling so much energy. He fires another ginormous ki wave at Goku, assuming to hit him. However, Goku rebounds right as the blast approaches him. Even with the huge explosion, Broly quickly realizes that Goku isn't there anymore, but before he can figure out what happened, a piercing fist is sent straight through his torso as Goku appears back in front of him. "This is a big deal," Goku says. "Even though it's still incomplete, I can still hit you," referring to both of them being in their incomplete state of their most powerful forms, as well as Goku's aptitude being the defensive portion of Ultra Instinct. He goes on to attack Broly again, and then he gets into the stance that we've never seen before. Goku does a flurry of kicks in Broly's direction as the Saiyan looks back in shock, wondering if he didn't connect the kicks on purpose, but this is when the after image of Goku's attacks connects, very similar to an air palm technique. He flies right in Broly's face as he asks him, "Hey, you okay? You're not done, are you?" Goku attacks again, this time with a flurry of punches, only to finish with a brutal knee to the chin. Assuming the battle's over, Goku begins to ease up a bit on Broly. However, this seems to have only awakened an even more raw form of rage within him as Broly's power explodes. Goku backs off immediately, realizing that Broly is falling into that same state he did before, slowly losing control. Full power Super Saiyan Broly has been born once again, but the thing that makes this far scarier than the last time, Broly has been training this very power. Both Goku and Broly brace themselves for the next round, but this is far different than the previous battle with Broly. Ultra Instinct Goku, in a flash, almost too fast for him to react himself, is snatched by a berserk Broly by the face and drugged through the ground just as he was last time. Goku has been waiting for his chance to have that one-on-one rematch with Broly ever since they first met on Earth. Fusion, while definitely the only way they stood any type of chance against him before, is no way Goku or Vegeta ever want to secure a victory over an opponent in a fair fight, and now that Goku has taken the necessary steps to somewhat master Ultra Instinct, he and Broly can finally have that rematch. In the beginning, Ultra Instinct looked to be far too much for Broly to handle, especially seeing the stark differences in training the both of them have been through, but in typical Broly fashion, even power along the lines of the gods themselves seems to not be enough to quell his infinitely growing energy. However, Goku's incomplete mastery of Ultra Instinct will always allow for just one more avenue of growth for him, until he ultimately stands toe-to-toe with the authorities of the multiverse as well. Be sure to have those notifications turned on because you absolutely don't want to miss the next installment of Ultra Instinct Goku vs Super Broly, because the rematch on planet Vampa is far from over.